Welcome, everybody. It is earlier than normal. Donald Trump today opting instead of a White House coronavirus press briefing with the full White House press corps. He instead is doing a 3 p.m. Eastern Rose Garden, I guess, presentation about PPP and small business with only limited White House press. So this is accomplishing two things that were reported over the weekend. Number one, that Donald Trump was going to be paring down access to him for the press corps. And by limiting this, I actually have Trump's schedule here. As you can see, this is restricted in-house pool. Oh, and it's not even in the East Room. It's not in the Rose Garden. It is in the East Room. So I should update that. Update titles. Let's see here for today's streams. So it is actually White House press conference, not Rose Garden. Okay, updating that. Very good. I could have sworn as of very recently it was scheduled for the Rose Garden. Maybe I saw that incorrectly. Maybe it was indeed changed. And number two, we were told Trump was going to be focusing more and more on an economic message instead of a virus message because he's calculated, and people around him probably have calculated, if you just talk about business, it is less likely you will say crazy crap like we should hit the body with disinfectants and that type of thing. So it's happening, even though it was denied. The reports were denied over the weekend that Donald Trump was going to be doing this. He is doing exactly that which it was reported he would be doing. So we are standing by for that at roughly the top of the hour, monitoring a number of different feeds. PBS News says that they will be carrying this. Fox News says they will be carrying this. This is the Washington Post says they will be carrying this. Also, Joseph R. Biden Jr. has a virtual town hall on women's issues scheduled for the top of the hour. And we will keep an eye on that potentially, depending on what goes down and how it all goes down. But in the meantime, I have a little bit of time during which I can answer some questions from you guys, including via YouTube Super Chat and Twitch messages. Yesterday, during the stream, Twitch went down completely. And of course, people started contacting me like I did something wrong. And it's like, no, Twitch was just down. Twitch had a brownout, I would say, for lack of a better term. And for whatever reason, I was the target of a lot of wrath. But it had nothing to do with me. Just Twitch went down. But I am really glad that it is back up today. So people like Tana Brown and Hunter Winky and Nilip, as well as Wintermute and Mark White, all can sign up with Twitch subscriptions and Twitch Prime subscriptions. Very, very exciting. And I'm glad that people are able to do that. Okay, let's see what some early super chatters are saying as a hype train gets going over on Twitch. Zesty African says, David Pakman, more like David Coolman. It would be cool to have left-leaning figures discuss international politics on each other's platform. Would you find a conversation with Michael Brooks on Latin American politics productive? I have no idea. I don't know what he has to say about that. And Latin American politics are not my area of focus either. So it's hard to say whether that would be productive. Waffles Giraffles says, got a negative corona test result today. Germany, my city, 1 million. Only 2 testing spots. No appointment. Didn't even need to wait. One other person. Interesting. Daniel Rivera says, hurry up. I need to know my political opinions today. Alex Jones says, Alex Jones, huge ass, and holy Fook is back. Okay. Daniel Rivera says, love the show. Are you more atheist or agnostic? I feel like the terms are often used interchangeably, and even if they were not originally meant, they have distinct meanings. They're often used interchangeably. I'm open to the idea that there is something there. It has just not been shown to me. So evidence would convince me. What that makes me, you tell me, my friends. Alex Jones says, this one is for Bridget Harding. Judge Janine is here, back and ready to defend Trump at all costs. Please don't ban me, Bridget. All right, so all sorts of things going on, which I'm not even privy to. Robert Mifflin says, did you hear about Andrew Gillum? What are your thoughts? If you mean that he was found in a hotel room high a couple months ago, I did hear about it. If something else happened, then I have not heard about it. I mean, I don't, what is there to say, really? Andrew Dwyer says, if you are looking for another book to read during COVID-19, Triangle, The Fire That Changed America is a pretty good book by David Von Drehrli. I am finishing up right now as far as from the standpoint of, as I like to say, from the standpoint of nonfiction, I am finishing up The Secret Life of Lobsters, which is very interesting. And I am starting to read a book about the, I don't know if it's pronounced Osage or Osage murders from the 1920s that I think it's by David Brand, something like that. Forget the author. Anyway, I'm only about 20 pages in, and it's excellent already. Excellent already. Erythropathak says, Tufts is better than Brandeis. Okay, I have no connection to either school, couldn't tell you. Anthony Sanchez says, where's Pedro, you know? Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he'll call in this week. Nasty Question says, yesterday proved Trump cannot resist nasty questions. Oh. Speaking of which, so somebody today during this brief press avail called out Trump about the fact that when he says we've done the most tests, that per capita we haven't. And Trump pulls the who are you with? Who do you work for thing? It's so predictable at this point. And then, by the way, at this point, Dr. Birx is just a vector of disinformation. Trump turns to her and she puts out a whole bunch of BS. Take a look at this.
Mr. President, overall, South Korea has done 5 times more tests than the U.S. per capita. Why is that?
I don't think that's true.
That is true. And you said this morning that the White House said the U.S. passes South Korea in virus testing.
Who are you with?
Yahoo News. And it's not true per capita.
Do you want to respond to that? If you have the
So first of all, Trump's strategy is, I don't believe that, and shifting off to somebody else. Now, Dr. Birx, unfortunately, just BS's. Take a look.
Sure, I have the numbers. So remember early on, we pushed tests to the outbreak areas, just like he described. His primary outbreak was in Miami-Dade and Broward County and Palm Beach, so they pushed tests into that region. We did the same thing in the United States. So if you look at every single state that had an outbreak, their testing is greater than anywhere in the world. They're in the
right. You prevent. So now understand how she's slicing and dicing. She's now saying you can pick the areas that were hit earliest, and they got tests. Now we don't have the data in order to fact check that right in front of us, but that's a new argument. That's a different argument. The way you prevent new subsequent outbreaks is widespread testing. This is just it's a post facto rationalization to say, okay, well, even if we don't have the highest national per capita testing, here's some other way we can kind of BS our way out of really being accountable for that.
4 per, 42 per thousand range.
Your point is taken about individual areas, but overall, we've had 14 times more infections than South Korea. So are we doing something wrong, and why is that? They have a very dense population.
Excellent reporter, by the way, not thrown off by the BS.
Our epidemic looks much more like the European epidemic. So right now we're tracking very close to the countries in Europe, and we're testing at their rate of their concentrated epidemics and where they're occurring in the metros. I think it really shows the susceptibility.
So understand that now we've got, well, if you compare our hot spots to the European hotspots, our testing today, even though they were 4 to 5 weeks ahead of us, is roughly what is the meaning of that? I hope people are understanding how deceptive this is.
Of our major cities in the same way they were susceptible in Europe. And so we've been very focused on that. That's not to say that we're not supporting the rural states. We're very much supporting the rural states and very much supporting their testing. There's no state right now in the United States that's tested really less than 1%, which is pretty remarkable when they don't really have significant cases.
Okay, so again, no state has tested much less than 1%. We're months in. We're months in. What are you talking about? So again, we look at the data, and you look at tests per million in the population, and we're very, very far. I mean, look at how far down you have to scroll to get down to us, right below Belgium and above the Cayman Islands, above Belarus, below Canada, below Australia. So, these are not tiny countries in any sense of the word. So It's actually sad that Dr. Birx, or Dr. Bricks, as she was referred to by, I think it was Admiral Polovchek, that they are, she is now a vector of disinformation and we can't trust her, and Fauci's gone. And so that's where we are right now. It's sad, but this is where we are right now. Yeah, she has kissed the ring, so to speak, as Jabby Gats is mentioning on Twitch. Okay, other super chats coming in. Charlie says, cubic zirconia and polyester headed for cabinet positions. I don't know who those people are. Erythropathac says MIT is better than Harvard. Nah, I don't know. I have no idea. Constitutional Peasant says, David, thank you for walking through this madness with us. I don't think I could listen without your live fact checking. Also, where is Kim Jong-un? We don't know. We don't know. Reports ranging from everything is fine to he's dead. Pick where you want to fall on that. Peppas has subscribed on YouTube. Andrew Hodge says, have you tried psilocybin? Turns out it's easy to find God. I have not tried psilocybin. No, I have not. If you have a question or comment for me, feel free to submit it using the super chat function. If you are watching on YouTube, of course. Let me go over to Twitch, where I want to say a big thank you to Mark White for subscribing with Twitch Prime, Timothy TM for subscribing with Twitch Prime, and Yushai for cheering. Question for everybody. It has been recommended to me that I reach out to Mixer, hello, Microsoft's live streaming platform, and that I explore whether they would be interested in making a play for my live streams. Now, my live streams are, nothing to write home about, so I don't know that they would actually be interested. But I am exploring the possibility of adding Mixer to the mix, for lack of a better term, and I really know nothing about it. The idea is Mixer's pouring money into marketing themselves. And as far as I know, there's not much news and politics happening over there. So it's an opportunity maybe to do something new. So reports about that incoming. We have a number of irons in the fire with Mixer. And maybe I'm completely kidding. Maybe I'm completely kidding. Or maybe tomorrow you'll see me live streaming on Mixer. We don't know. Okay, we are standing by for a Trump East Room presentation about how PPP is great for small businesses in the era of coronavirus. My instinct is that what Trump is trying to do is to, number one, get out of asking questions, and number two, just focus on the economic message, because it's far better than the medical message, where we now have over 1 million confirmed cases. We are just days from hitting 60,000 deaths. Remember, Trump told us we would have 60,000 deaths total. We're going to hit it this week, and we still have, tens of thousands of cases that we are finding every single day. So I believe that we are about to see a real propaganda show in the East Room of the White House, and we will see if any questions are asked. My guess is the answer will be no. No questions will be asked. Okay, other super chats coming in. Dark Skin Romeo sends a super chat from Canada. Thomas Powell says 1,800 watching, only 250 likes. Yes, if you're watching on YouTube, remember, I want to be better than these right-wing nut streams. So, we've seen what happens sometimes. There's channels that engage in the battle of ideas and stuff like that. Their like ratio is very, very low. We want to crush them. So if you're watching on YouTube, make sure to hit that like button. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Very, very exciting stuff. Per Tiran says he means diamond and silk. Okay. Brandon Diamond has subscribed on YouTube. Bamber Kitty says, you said in a previous video that Neil Cavuto was fired from Fox News. Is that true? No, I immediately after said, I'm just kidding. Literally, because I wanted to avoid anybody thinking I was being serious. I said, of course, Neil Cavuto has been fired from Fox News. I'm kidding, of course. And then I moved on with the segment. So that didn't happen. Dean Oldfield sends a super chat. Per Tiran says, I think you can't have Mixer and Twitch. They are fierce competitors. Robert Mifflin says, what do you think was the last United States invasion? Was it Serbia? I don't know that I would say that. I'd have to think about that a little bit. Okay. Vazil Vanda says sad briefings are easing because they hurt Mango Man. Yeah, it seems as though people close to Trump have actually convinced him you are doing damage to yourself by doing all of these briefings and by taking all of these questions. And apparently, Donald Trump has taken that to heart. And of course, today, as you will notice, no press briefing. Often those look like this. Yesterday's, of course, was canceled and replaced with a news conference. Instead, today we have just actually, I'll refresh this to see if it's changed. It is not. Today, the president delivers remarks on supporting our nation's small businesses through the Paycheck Protection Program. Notice this restricted in-house pool. So that is very different than a full press corps event. I would not be surprised if Trump doesn't take a single question, and it is merely a propaganda event. Let me see if C-SPAN is going to be carrying it. Not yet. Let's see if we look at White House YouTube channel and see if I presume they will be carrying it. Yes, here it is. Okay, so that has not started yet either. So we're keeping an eye on it, and we will see when it actually starts. Let me say thank you to Gutshi, who has subscribed with Twitch Prime at twitch.tv/David Pakman. I also want to say thanks to Marsha Ballard. Marsha is new member number 1 today at joinpakman.com. Thank you, Marsha. I so appreciate your support. Very, very much so. Okay, a few other super chats coming in here. Let me make sure I don't miss anybody. Monique Delou, that looks like a Dutch name to me. I wonder if we have a new Dutch member. Welcome. Mind Melt says, if we continue electing the centrist, is the party going to continue to get more corporate and right? Which party are you referring to, right? Ilan's Ozolins has subscribed on YouTube. Michael Henkley says, what to do if insurance won't cover Lysol injection? Take that as a sign that it may not be medically advisable. Danny Thompson. Hey, Danny. Danny says, David, my name is Danny, and I am pack maniac. Oh, boy. I am especially addicted to your live streams with COVID-45. Has anyone, something about this message is cracking me up. Has anyone else coined the term pack maniac before, or am I the first? Thanks for all you do. I think I have seen the term floating around on Reddit, but it's usually spelled with a K like my name. Brandon Diamond says, I am in Nova Scotia, where massacre was 22 dead. Yeah, we covered that horrible, horrible story on the bonus show. I think it was last week we covered it. But it was an ugly story. Very, very ugly. Tragic. Charlie says Trump trying to pronounce Cepheid is a top 10 moment. Yeah, let me see if we can find that. That was an unbelievable moment. I think Aaron probably posted that. Let's see if we can find it. Actually, you know what? I think I posted it to my Twitter page. This was the most interesting moment yesterday. Here it is.
And Cephahide, Dickinson, Hologic, and Cephahide.
It actually almost sounds like a Hebrew word, which is really, really it's just funny for no particular reason. It's just funny. But that was amazing. And of course, let me pull up if I can find the company Trump was talking about, of course, is Cepheid. I don't even really know how it's pronounced, but I know it's not Cephahide. Molecular testing, they do the Expert Express SARS-CoV-2 test with rapid detection. Beautiful, beautiful test. Perfect test, I would even say. Let's look at that just one more. I just love, this is so good.
Dickinson, Hologic, and Cephahide.
Why do I love that? Why do I love that? I have to do it one more time and then we're going to move on.
And Cephahide.
Oh man, the way Trump's mouth, like Trump's look right here of I don't know what the hell I'm doing is very, very funny. Okay, now someone yesterday, I was looking around. So let me give you a little bit of info. Yesterday, um, how much should I say about this? Yesterday, I was supposed to be in LA on the Joe Rogan program. And because it would be very irresponsible to fly out, and the flight I had was canceled anyway, and blah, 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 blah. Let me just make sure we're not missing anything here. No, not yet. Okay. I wasn't out there. And I was supposed to appear with Tim Pool. And Tim drove out there, which was not something that was in the cards for me. And he actually was tested for the virus at Joe Rogan's studio, and it was negative. It was negative. And so I started looking around, and I guess there is a A2 coronavirus antibody test. This company, AYTU, I don't know how it's pronounced, A2 Bioscience, makes these tests. And I would be interested in ordering some of them if it's even possible. But then when I went to try to order them on this website, it said that I need, where was it here? Order request form. I guess like you kind of need to be a doctor sort of to order this. And, you know, you need a license or I don't have any of this stuff. So I'm merely talking out loud. I don't want to restrict access to anybody who, to anybody, but I would be interested in getting one of those tests. If anybody knows where lay people can order them, maybe email me if you know anything about that, or let me know via super chat. I'd be interested in that. I guess you for whatever reason, you're supposed to be a doctor to order antibody tests, which is weird. You would think they would just sell them over the counter. It's strange. Okay. Other super chats coming in. Jesse Bear says, what number would Trump need to personally mask up? I don't know that Trump would ever mask up, quite frankly. Per Tiren says, Pac Maniac here. Thanks, Per. Great to see you. Timothy Matthews sends a super chat. Danny Thompson says, many apologies for the misspelling. Pac Maniac or Pac Maniac with a K, it is. Chris K has upgraded his membership to Beta. Stephen Perot says, hey, David, do you know where New Brunswick is by any chance? I'm watching the press conferences because they're hilarious. When is this one starting? Scheduled for 10 minutes ago. And we don't know what is going on. Looks like Washington Post has some kind of pre-show thing. Let me refresh that and see what's going on. But yeah, nothing big going on there yet. Also, Joe Biden has a... Wait a second. Did this end already? What is this?
Worries about just making ends meet. And millions more of women are on the front lines as healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, sanitation workers, childcare workers, grocery store clerks, workers.
What on earth is going on here? Someone is scrolling something else. It's a recursive streaming situation. What the hell is going on? Oh my God. All right, let's go to live. Oh, okay. So we'll keep an eye on that. That seems to be starting soon. No news yet on the Trump event. I just want to see a few seconds of what Joe Biden is doing here, and we'll take a look. Very interesting stuff. Who knows what to expect, right? Okay. Hey guys, you know what? I think this was pre-recorded. I think they might be pretending this is live because just before it started, did you see how we saw someone scrolling a video of Biden talking to Hillary? Hold on.
Difficult time for Americans all across the nation. More than 57,000 lives lost. More than 26 million Americans have filed for unemployment. We're all worried about our health and our families. And women are experiencing much of the pandemic devastating impacts more than anything else. Millions of women have lost their jobs or had their hours slashed on the front lines as healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, sanitation workers, childcare workers, grocery store clerks, workers.
Huh. This is really weird.
As healthcare workers, doctors, nurses, sanitation
Here it
workers,
is again.
child
Okay.
care workers.
So it looks like they're
grocery
pretending this is live. It says live, but we just saw that they accidentally started playing this about 15 minutes ago. So it looks like it's fake live.
store
They're
clerks.
claiming it's live, but it's
Workers
obviously
and
not. We just watched
More
this.
and more are carrying on their backs the rest of the nation. Domestic violence survivors are at a heightened risk, forced to shelter in place. It doesn't impact every community equally. It hits hardest those who are most vulnerable and who have the fewest resources, including women of color and low-income women. This pandemic is pulling back the curtain on so many inequities in our society. The lack of paid sick leave for workers, the need for a livable minimum wage, the need for stronger unemployment insurance.
Oh boy, guys, I don't know that this is that great, and I think that we just caught them pretending that something is live. Which it like I see people in the chat saying, "Well, it was live at some point." They're claiming it's live now. That's the problem, I think, and that is extremely concerning to me. We are still standing by for the start of this Donald Trump event momentarily. That is weird. That is really, really weird, and I'm not totally sure what to make of that. Yikes. Okay. Timothy Matthews says, when did you cover sexual assault allegations Biden? I believe it was late last week on stream. Deborah Pearson has subscribed at the soy boy level. Vazil Vanda says, are drugs or senility to blame for Trump's brain? I don't know. Could be both. Ms. Smith says, another day and more crap from the king of crap, Trump. Have you seen the meme of Trump's head sculpted from horse manure? I have not seen that. Chris K says, Biden is always so awkward, live or not. Yeah, I mean, this is weird stuff, guys.
Jobs held by women in our country has been classified as essential. So this is an issue that affects all of us, young and old, every kind of background from every walk of life. But it is having a disproportionate impact on the front lines, on women working, on women caring for others, on women holding down the home as we go through this together. So I want to add my voice to the many who have endorsed you to be our president. Just think of what a difference it would make right now if we had a president who not only listened to the science, put facts over fiction, but brought us together, showed the kind of compassion and caring that we need from our president, and which
Someone
Joe
talking in the
Biden
background?
has been exemplifying throughout his entire life. Think of what it would mean if we had a real president, not just somebody who plays one on TV, but somebody who gets up every morning worried about the people that he's responsible for leading during this crisis. Well, I know what a difference it would make because I've been there. I've seen firsthand what presidents can and should do. And I, like so many Americans, really wish that we had that kind of leadership now. You know, Joe Biden has been preparing for this moment his entire life.
She's almost talking as if she's not connected with Biden, like as if it was separately recorded in some way. It's just everything about this feels not great to me. And you all know I'm voting for Biden.
I watched him build coalitions and work to bring people together to solve problems. Then during the Obama administration, when I was privileged to be Secretary of State, I've been in the Situation Room with Joe as we debated. And, you know, where we didn't say what we thought people wanted to hear, we said what we believed. And we had a president then with President Obama who encouraged that. Think of it, who wanted to hear from each and every one of us. I've been in the, lobby of the...
Guys, I have to admit, I'm not even live right now. This was actually recorded earlier, and producer Pat is playing a recording of a live stream from earlier today. All right, so Hillary endorsing Biden. I genuinely don't know how much it's going to help Joe Biden. I think the dynamics of this election are different. And I just, in general, I'm skeptical of endorsements. Looks like this is getting going here. But I just, in these particular cases, I just don't know how much this is going to help. All right, so we've got This looks like heavy propaganda. People standing up. What is going on now? What is happening here? This is already weird. Okay, here's Trump. Oh my God, is Ivanka participating in something? You have got to be kidding me. All right, we're going to switch over to the C-SPAN feed. By the way, I will be thanking people, new members, right after this is over. Please do consider grabbing a membership at joinpacman.com. We have a 66% off code, and one person has signed up. I would love it if it were 25. And everybody will get a thank you, as this is vile and toxic. This is vile and toxic.
Well, thank you very much, everyone. This is a great honor. And I see you have social distance on your mind. And that's a very good thing, Jovita. Congratulations. Tremendous job you're doing. I want to thank everyone for being at the White House, a very special house, a very special place, no matter where you go in the world. I love the White House. And being here in the East Room of the White House in particular, where so many important functions have taken place over the years. And today we're really celebrating American workers and small businesses, and we've done a job for you, and we're going to make it so as we open up our country, you're going to be in good shape as opposed to be either losing your business or how do we get some people to work here, especially since your employees were so good over the years, and those are the ones you wanted. So we made that possible for you. We're delighted to be joined this afternoon by representatives of several incredible small businesses from across our country. Also with us, our Treasury Secretary, Stephen Mnuchin.
This is total propaganda.
Thank you very much. And SBA Administrator. You've been busy, Steve, by the way? A little bit, right? Broke every record in the book. And SBA Administrator, Jovita Carranza. Thank you, Jovita. Have you gone to sleep in the last 2 weeks? I don't think so, right? You broke every single lending record, numbers of loans, amount of loans, small business. It's actually a very big business when you think about it. Thank you very much,
big
Jovita.
business.
Great job.
Oh, it's actually.
As our nation battles against this terrible scourge, we continue to pray for the victims as well as for those Americans who are grieving their lost ones and their loved ones. There's never been anything like this. We suffer with one heart, but we will prevail. We're coming back, and we're coming back strong. We built the greatest economy anywhere in the world 2 months ago, and we're going to build it again. We're going to build it fast. It's going to go very quickly. And Larry, thank you for being here very much. You see what's going to happen. I think you have the same feeling as I do. It's going to come back very fast. Now that our experts believe the worst days of the pandemic are behind us, Americans are looking forward to the safe and rapid reopening of our country. Throughout this ordeal, millions of hardworking Americans have been asked to really make tremendous.
This is a totally safe propaganda setting for Trump. Can you imagine? This is what they're replacing press briefings with.
We thought would ever be talking about something like this. This virus has inflicted an enormous and painful toll on our nation's workers and small businesses. That's why last month I asked Congress to pass the Paycheck Protection Program, giving small businesses emergency economic relief to keep workers on the payroll. 4 weeks ago, I was proud to sign it into law. We did that at a great ceremony with many of the people here and the officials here, and it was something. And I can tell you, I'm going to ask Steve to say a few words, but the kind of numbers and the kind of jobs they've done and the kind of jobs that have also been saved, it's incredible. You'll be seeing that in the coming weeks.
I guess we won, guys.
The Treasury Department and the Small Business Administration launched the program in record-breaking time, just 1 week. And in the 14 days following its launch, we processed as many loans as the SBA would typically process in over 14 years. So in 14 days, they did more work and more loans, both in terms of applications and in terms of dollar amount, than they did in 14 years. 14 days, 14 years. Easy one to remember, right? That's some record.
I'd want to
verify that. The first round of funding
myself.
provided more than 1.6 million small businesses with over $340 billion so that American workers can retain their jobs, receive their paychecks, and help our economy take off quickly once America reopens for business, which is happening right now as we sit. We're going to be all set. You all ready? I know you are. I talk to you back there. You're ready. You folks are ready. Our swift action supported or saved
What the hell is wrong
30
with this
million
guy?
American jobs at least. And last week, Congress answered our call to replenish the program, and I was honored to sign an additional $320 billion for American workers into law. At least $60 billion are reserved for community financial institutions, including those that serve minority and distressed communities. And that's also, when you think it's African American communities, it's Hispanic American communities, it's Asian American communities. We began accepting applications for the second round of funding yesterday. Demand is extraordinarily high, and there are already twice as many users accessing the system as on any day under the first round. And one of the things that the Secretary of the Treasury told me is that the amounts are much more loans at much smaller amounts. And we like to hear that because we're looking at the small amounts, the smaller businesses, and that's what we want. Nonetheless, we're processing loans at a pace never achieved before. In the first 24 hours of the second round of funding, we've handled over 30% more loans than any previous day of the program. So far, we've processed an amazing 450,000 loans totaling over $50 billion. That's in phase two. That's incredible. Along with Administrator Carranza and Secretary Mnuchin, Ivanka has played an essential role in spearheading this important program.
Which she should not even
Incredible
have.
world. That's
Which
what
she should not
wants
even
to do.
have.
She wants to help people.
Completely
From the beginning of my
unelected.
administration, Ivanka has used her experience as an entrepreneur to fight for the American worker.
Nepotism.
She's created many jobs. That's what she did when she first came in. She just wanted people to be able to get
created
jobs
no
and
jobs.
job training. Went
Remember,
to the
Trump
biggest
claimed a
companies.
few weeks ago that she created 15 million jobs, which would be 10% of all jobs in the United States. This is weaponized disinformation.
Almost 15 million people, right? 15 million. She started off with a goal of 500,000.
Here it
She
is. You
wanted
just
to get
told a lie again.
500,000.
It's a complete lie.
The
entire Trump presidency, 6
almost
million
15
jobs were
million
created.
people. And I'd like to
a
ask,
comical lie.
if I might, Ivanka, to say a few words.
Oh my
as
God,
to,
she's going to say something.
What's exactly happening today? What's
Can-
happening
this
over
is-
the next
this is
week, and what her
toxic.
views are for what's going to happen over the next period of time. It's going to be something I think it's going to be very special and bigger and better than anybody really understands. Let's see if I'm right about
Wow.
that. Ivanka, please.
She shouldn't even be involved. She shouldn't even be here.
Well, thank you, everyone, and thank you, Mr. President, for convening this incredible group of entrepreneurs and small business owners who very much represent the soul and the spirit, the grit and the tenacity of
It sounds like she might have
America's
gotten
small
her teeth too big. It seems to be impacting her speech, right? Is anybody else hearing that?
you for joining us here today, and very excited to hear your stories and hear specifically about how you're going through this challenge and how through the Payment Protection Program and through the PPP, you are able to keep your workforce employed. It's about your businesses thriving and growing within your communities. It's about your workforce, who each of you cares very dearly about. And
Dear
I'd like to make
God.
a special call out of thanks to Secretary Mnuchin for his tireless work on this front. So if you'd like to come up and join us, we would appreciate that, Secretary.
Can you
And
imagine?
SBA Administrator Carranza, thank you. You have been such a champion for America's small business. If you'd also like to come up and join
Steve
us.
Standel, even closer to her,
and,
please.
and Larry Kudlow. Thank you
God.
for
Kudlow could be
all that you
drinking.
do in fighting for American workers. With that, I would like to kick us off by introducing Amy Wright to come up to the stage and share with us a little bit of her story. She has
is
created
managed
an amazing
propaganda.
business that stemmed from personal experience and very much her heart. And it's been an honor getting to know you, Amy, as you
This is
really
surreal.
embody the spirit
This is surreal.
of small businesses around this country. Amy, because of the PPP program, was able to rehire the 120 workers that she was forced to lay off.
Hey, guys, you know
And
what?
Now those workers
I'm going to cut it. I'm gonna. I can't. There's no. I can't in good faith show this. I just can't do it. It is trash. It is like, it's like an old piece of gum that you accidentally step on. Except this is easy to get away from, and I can't show you that. I can't show you that shit. I just can't do it. It would be. It's not. I'm not even respecting you. There is no journalistic value to that shit whatsoever. Okay. Let me just thank people who are actually making the world better. Okay. Jessica Jingle has just more than doubled her Patreon pledge. We're going to call her number 2 today. Megan Curran has grabbed a membership. She's number 3. Ardem Anokin is new member number 4 at joinpacman.com. James Dossing is new member number 5 at joinpacman.com. And Mary Puchol is new member number 6 today at joinpacman.com. Every single person that signs up, I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. We've been hit very, very hard by the virus. We lost almost 400 members last month. We've lost almost 300 members this month. And every single time somebody goes to joinpacman.com and signs up, you really are helping us. And you're making it so that I don't have to show you that bullshit press conference. I can cut away from it because it's the right thing to do. And it is, we were told over the weekend that Trump was going to be paring down the press briefings. When you look at the calendar and the schedule, you see that Saturday there was no press briefing. You see that Sunday there was no press briefing. Friday, Trump did one, but he walked away without taking any questions. Yesterday, he did one where he took limited questions. And today, just a totally toxic propaganda event, which I cannot in good conscience show you. It is of no value. Yeah, people asking when has it started? We're out. It's still going on. Look, I'll go over without even showing the audio. It's still going on, and we're just not doing it. We're just not. Oh my God! And you guys understand what's going on now, right? I hope everybody understands what it is that they're doing here. If you want to talk about the word political prop and pandering, it is what's going on right now, and it is disgusting. It is absolutely disgusting. William C. says, thank you for pulling away from that garbage. My pleasure. Brian Coldy, hey, Brian, hope fatherhood is treating you well. Brian says, please don't show us the BS. I think you're absolutely right. I think we're doing the right thing here. Because it is evil. What was going on there was weaponized propaganda, and we simply can't do it. Jorah Monathan says, I can't show you this shit. Love it, DP. Yeah, I think it's the right decision. Listen, if you want to watch that, there is no journalistic value whatsoever. It is of zero value. We learn nothing. Listen, let me sum it up for you. Everything's great, and Trump's to thank for it. That's the message. That's all that it is. And by the way, 60,000 people have died, and it's soon going to be 70, and it's not getting any better. Let me say thank you to Tani Lizama, who is a new member number 7 today. Samuel Cook is new member. Samuel Cook, that's interesting, is new member number 8 today. And Laura Newby is new member number 9. I think that we've made the right decision. I'm going to take the afternoon to really work on some important stories for tomorrow. I'm sorry we're not streaming longer, but that is toxic, and I can't do it to you. I can't do it to you. Thank you for joining me, and we'll be back with much more content coming up.